Obviously a great scoreline 4-1. Doesn't tell a tale of a very, very pleasing game of football, all in all.
I thought it was excellent. I thought Stalybridge came out of the traps and were brilliant for 15 minutes. We tried a 4-4-2. It didn't really work. We missed Ennis in the midfield trio. We dropped him into the 10. Max just came off the left, Donce off the right, and then I thought after that we got a foothold in the game. We took our goal well, and then we conceded another sloppy goal, which we've got to address really quickly. But then, I thought second half, I know we got a couple of decisions that people may argue against, but over the course of the season you get a little bit of luck, and we ran out eventual 4-1 winners, and it was a good game of football.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things that was noticeable, I think, particularly after the sort of 15-20 minute mark. We started getting loads of joy down the wings. Basically, Guy Hall was getting a lot of forward play. Dante on the other side was really sort of stretching, and then you could see sort of like Max and Reeves were then able to just get into that middle.
I think, no disrespect to the lads that play. Woolers is just enjoying this new right back role he's got. Guy hasn't played for a long time. Dante and Max in front of that, and what was happening for some parts of the first half is that Dante and Max weren't coming in narrow enough to enable the full-backs to get out. We do a lot on our rotations. I thought sometimes in the last 20 minutes in particular, Woolerton and Guy Hall were great. They exposed so much space. They got deliveries into the box, and second half they were just as good. I'd just like to see the pod analysis, because I'm sure that they both covered over 12k today, which is incredible. And you look at both of them at the end of the game, and they look like they can keep going. Naturally fit lads and who do really well and want to help the team. But that by doing that, it stretches play, it creates a lot of space for Linney, Dante and then the midfielders, and then it allows the centre-halves to get out of play. And I just thought, all in all, for a game of football, we were pleased with how it panned out, and we know that it doesn't, take into account what's going to happen next Saturday, but it was nice to have a win on a Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just talking about the first goal, I mean, it was a nice passage of play, because the ball broke down the left, but we didn't lose the ball, we played it back in. That set up Potts, and he just did a slide rule pass into Reeves, who took it first time. It was a sweet goal.
I mean, I'm enjoying watching him play. Potts, he's like, I'm not saying I like the kid that I brought in straight away. I like the kid that I've seen, 21, 22-year-old. He's played as good as I've ever seen him play, and it reminds me of last season a little bit, when before he picked up his injury at Marsk, he was dragging the team through. Now he's not dragging the team through. Now he's playing a big influential part with really good players in and around him. But you watch his pass. He also did something in the first half where he received the ball on the half turn and then played another pass through. And he's tenacious. He's all over the place, but he's only as good as the lads near him. Griffiths and Ennis were exceptional today. Obviously, Linney gets his hat-trick. I just thought it was a really good team performance. But like I said, I'm enjoying watching Michael play. It's great to have him back around the lads, and he's playing pressure-free, and you can see it with his whole body language, his demeanour. He's enjoying it, and that's a good thing when you see footballers do that.
Yeah, and the second goal, I mean, we'll touch on the goal we conceded, but the second goal, again, it was more pressure down that right-hand side, and it was great when Reed's shot basically bounced off. There was another body in the box in the shape of Max. He was very calm when he took it.
Yeah, he was, and it created with Woolerton stretching play, and then it came to Reeves, and we got a little bit of fortune when it bounced back, and then he set Max, and Max looked good in the warm-up. We were doing our little phases, but I said to the radio, you could see today, you feel like he's going to score. I said to him at half-time, have you done enough? He said, I don't think you have. I said, I think there's more to come from you. I thought second half he was excellent. I thought he was excellent the way he bullied people and got around play, and could have scored probably the goal of the game with that move that Dante flicks it and Max didn't. But it's good to see people enjoying the football and expressing themselves, and that's what we encourage here. Encourage mistakes, encourage open play, encourage golden ticket in the final third, be brave on the football, and today it was good. Today it was good, and hopefully you can you can replicate it. But we know football games change, and I expect them to change a little bit next week, and we'll change as well.
Yeah, I mean, the goal when we conceded, it was pretty much sort of carbon copy of last week. Basically, we scored in the 24th, 25th minute against Lancaster, and then conceded within 10 minutes.
It was
again.
poor. We've got 3 chances to clear the ball. We then get done on the half turn and they score, and it's a kick in the teeth. But you test the mental strength. I said to the radio, test the mental strength of this group. It's a Manchester Cup game. They treat it like an FA Cup final. They were brilliant, and I said, they'll just keep doing that, and they knew at 1-1 they wanted to win this game of football today. They're desperate, want to win a piece of silverware this season, whether or not that's the Phoenix, whether or not it's a league, whether or not it's a Manchester Cup, and you've seen today that they've given everything. They'll rest now, they'll train Tuesday, they'll train Thursday, and then we'll get ready for Stalybridge away next Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Potsley Wood Man of the Match as nominated by FCM Radio. But to be fair, Regan, I mean, he was an absolute terror, wasn't he?
I've got in the dressing room. I'll tell you exactly what I said. Potsy was immense again. Deserved man of the match. Regan got a hat trick. The one who stood out for me, who won't get any plaudits, is Finn Armstrong, left-sided centre half. He didn't put a foot wrong. He was absolutely exquisite, and that kid's got a future. But he's been playing left back for us, and to step in to them shoes, of Curtis Jones and Andy Halls, to do it as calmly and as well as he has done. There was a moment in the second half where he went over the top, and maybe Dan could have come out for it, and he didn't. He brought it out the sky, turned in one, took it out of defence, and then just played a pass. And I was like, wow, this kid, is such a player. But it goes right through. The lads know that they're playing with good players, and that's a good thing. There's always going to be a man of the match. For me, I want 16 man of the matches every single week. I want the staff to get man of the match. I want everyone to play the part and just keep winning games of football. And if we can do that, then it's going to be fantastic. We've now got headaches. We didn't have De Grucci today. We didn't have Jones. We didn't have Halls. We didn't have Gribbin. We didn't have Donahue. We didn't have Rodwell Grant. He came on at the end, but he was injured. So we've got, they'll all be back this week. Vincent as well. So they'll all be back this week. It's a big selection headache, but the lads can only do what they're asked to do. And I think today they've been brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, just talking to the two penalties, basically. I mean, people look at the penalties and think that really flattered the scoreline, but to be fair, we should have had a few more, shouldn't we? Basically, their goalkeeper had a fabulous game.
Yeah,
I mean,
2-1 up.
Thinking particularly basically when Reeves was one-on-one, fainted, and the goalkeeper managed to get back up and get something on it.
And that was at 2-1. But at 2-1 also, when Regan doesn't take his chance, Lavercombe was brilliant. Goes down to the feet and stops the lad from going around him. I thought Dan was brilliant again today, but we could have had chances. Max, Regan, Woolers right towards the end, Guy Hall in the first half. So it's nice to create chances. It's nice when you take them. It's nice to score 4 goals. But we've just got to make sure that we keep our feet grounded now. We get into training this week. We work really hard. We're meticulous on our game plan. Probably change it again next Saturday and bring in lads that haven't been available today. But that's the nature of the beast. That's keeping people fresh and fit and healthy and happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked on Thursday and you said you were going to sort of freshen it up a bit, so players who hadn't much game time were going to get an opportunity today. Don't want to put you on pressure, but have any of that came in today put questions in your head about replacing people who have been starting more regularly?
I think Guy Hall, Jan Palinkas, they're amazing players. They're absolutely fantastic players, and unfortunately they found themselves missing out to a Jones or a Halls or a Finn Armstrong. All they can keep doing is enjoying playing football, enjoying learning, working hard in training. I know they will do. Jan's loving it, Guy's loving it. They both had opportunities to go elsewhere. They don't, both young lads, and they're being part of it. And they've shown that I've got the trust in them to go and play, and I've shown that today. Have the other two done anything to be left out? Possibly not. But what it does as a manager, it gives you so many positive selection headaches. And, I know that if an injury happened to Finn, you've got Guy, or an injury happened to Guy, you've got Finn. If Halls or Palinkas Halls or Jones go down, Palinkas or now Finn can go in there. De Grucci and Woolerton to fight it out at right back. Young Dante Gabidon's done brilliant today. And he's played where Callum Gribbin's played. So, for as a manager, you're really happy. Max McCarthy coming back on, from his low move, he now challenges the top end of the pitch. Lads in midfield, Griffith's been back today, playing his first 90. So, you're happy. We've got a really good squad. My job is to try and keep them all happy. But I know what a tight-knit group they are in there. And sometimes if they're fed up with me for not playing, they won't be fed up with each other because they enjoy each other's company and they know what we're trying to do and they buy into what we're trying to do. And now we've just got to work hard in training and see what team takes to the field against Stalybridge next week. Yeah,
I mean, we've got sort of a bit of pressure reduced, obviously, with no Tuesday fixes until the Beveren game in a couple of weeks. Are you going to do anything different in training with that extra session?
We haven't had a lot of time off, the lads. We may have a rub-down session on Tuesday. We might have a yoga session to get tight legs stretched out. We might not, go through the paces. Thursday we won't change. It'll be our game plan. It'll be setting out how we're going to line up, pretty much putting the front 11 out and working on our shape and our set pieces like we do and a little bit of finishing towards the end. But the lads are tired, they've had a gruelling process and over the course of the season we've been really unlucky with injuries. You only see like Ennison today, he's got to be rolled out again today and try and drag him off, and maybe he thought he was going to have a rest. Regan Linney is going to have a rest today, but we're low on numbers so we can't do that in a minute. But lads love playing. Chaz was the first one to text me today saying, Gaffer, I feel great. Regan, he's on a really good run, and you ask any striker, they don't want to miss when they're playing well. He gets another hat trick today, so lads are enjoying the football, and all I can ask that they keep working hard and playing for each other and the badge and see how far it takes us.
And just to finish, obviously you mentioned a few players that weren't here today through injury, so particularly Gribbin, who does a hamstring. Obviously Donna's has been out for a couple of weeks. Any of those likely to come back into contention next week? Gribbin
will definitely be back in contention. De Grucci will be back in contention. Donna's will be touch and go. Vincent won't be ready. Halls will be back next week. Jones will be back next week. Rodwell Grant will be back next week. So, you know, there's opportunities for people, but like I said, there's a lot of football to be played between now and the end of the season, and I guarantee people will play minutes, and I'm true to my word. You know, Guy Hall, Jan Palinkas coming in today. I had no qualms about throwing them in. I thought they were both excellent. We just got to keep going, and like I said, you know, let them be disappointed with me if they're not playing, but they won't be disappointed with the teammates if they're doing well, and you know that's what we're built in that dressing room. So keep going. You know, look forward to going to Stalybridge next week, and hopefully we take a good travelling army. And yeah, well done to the boys today.
So Potsy, once again the Joseph Holt Man of the Match as chosen by FC Radio. Congratulations, firstly.
Thanks, Tim. Nice one.
As I just said to you, it's getting a bit boring to keep doing these Man of the Match things. Since you came back to FC, you're like a man reborn.
Oh yeah, I just feel fit. I think them 3 months off has done me some good.
Yeah, and you set up the goal, the first up the opener for FC. It was an exquisite ball through. Was it just instinctive?
Yeah, well, obviously the ball's come to me, no one was around me, and then Regan was offside, and then he slowed his run down. I just saw the gap just to put it in front of him, and I knew he would do the rest, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, all around the park, basically, you were at the back, basically, you were sort of like mopping up and also sort of driving the team forward. Obviously, it's good to have sort of players that you've been playing with, like Griff, obviously, and Chaz.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's it. When I play with Griff in the midfield, it gives me that licence to run everywhere, because I know he's just going to sit in the middle of the park and dictate the game like he does. And it lets me then pick up the second balls and like set up Regan for the goal. I can play in that like more forward role, so I enjoyed it today.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we saw today, obviously, it's a bit of sort of a game for players who are not getting much game time to come in. Thinking about sort of like Guy, obviously.
Great performance. Great performance from Guy. Yeah, really well.
Yeah, I mean, it must be so good to see sort of players who sort of on the fringes coming in and putting in such a great shift.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like the lads haven't played for 3-4 weeks, and it's like they played last week. Do you know what I mean? The confidence, the composure on the ball. Yeah, like Jan took him in at centre half. Like he's did really well, and like, he made a couple of mistakes first half, but trying to do the right thing, and sometimes that can affect you. But he rolled his sleeves up and went again, so I was really proud of him.
Yeah, and obviously you've played at a very high level. You've seen these players who are coming up from sort of like the conference. You know, you think it's like Guy obviously came from Fulwood. Dante's come up from West Didsbury.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Dante. Really good. He's exciting. He's really exciting to watch. When you give the ball, he turns, he drives with it, he commits players. So he's a very good prospect.
Yeah, and do you see yourself obviously sort of like? Got to ask you a question basically. Do you treat the younger players slightly differently to the more senior players?
Yeah, no, it's just coaching them. I try and coach them as much as, and that was one big part of me coming back, because I felt like I could still give back to these young lads coming through, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. So that's like what I want to like start and yeah, continue really.
Okay, so you're thinking about sort of taking sort of qualifications in that direction?
Yeah, not really. I don't know, maybe yeah, but it's just more like in a dressing room environment and just coaching in that, like life coaching really, on mindsets and stuff like that, and try and help them deal with different situations. If they make a mistake or whatever, it's trying to talk them through about positive mindset and try and go and put the next one right kind of thing. So I'm just trying to use that, and maybe I'll go down qualifications, but I've not thought that far yet.
Okay, well, I mean, it must be great for them to see sort of like senior players like yourself and Chaz, sort of on the middle of the pitch, just basically when things aren't going well, still keep driving forward.
That's what we're really big on. Like this club at the moment, we've got young lads coming through, and they're going to make mistakes, so you can't get on them. You can't get on the backs. Like obviously, yeah, sometimes come on, it's got to be better, but you tell them in the right way.
Obviously, you've got a week off now. Reynolds mentioned yoga on Tuesday. Yeah, what? So it's a bit of stretching. Yeah, I said yoga. It's the first time he's mentioned it to me. God. So you're looking forward to yoga?
Well,
have you
it's
got a
the
mat?
first. I know it's the first. I've got a mat. I actually have, because I don't mind a bit of stretching, but yoga, wow, that's a different level.
Well, we'll know at Christmas if you've got a DVD out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh my God, brilliant.
Okay, well, congratulations once again, a superb performance. Holt's Man of the Match. Congratulations.
Thanks again, Tim. Nice one. Thank you.